Imagine a world where the king of money is neither a bank nor a government. A world where only one person, or maybe a team, through just a white paper, shakes the financial system of the entire world. Do you know who I'm talking about? His name is Satoshi Nakamoto, the founder of Bitcoin. And from here, a story begins. A story where money, power, technology, and mystery are everything. But the biggest thing is that no one knows who Satoshi really was. So today, we'll talk about a mystery, a story that many people don't know, where every corner connects to Bitcoin and its mysterious founder, Nakamoto. What is that mystery that the world has still not been able to solve? Let's find out. This is a fascinating story, especially if you trade or invest in crypto, because everyone should know where it all began. The story starts from 2008. Remember that time when the world was in an economic crisis? Lehman Brothers had fallen. Big banks were collapsing. People's trust in the banking system was fading. There was fear everywhere. And then, out of the blue, an unknown user named Satoshi Nakamoto released a white paper. In it, he introduced Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. It wasn't a college assignment. It was the blueprint for a revolution. Satoshi gave the idea of a currency that could run without banks. No middlemen, no transaction fees, complete control in the hands of users. For the first time, a system was proposed that was completely decentralized, with no owner, no controller. Then came January 3rd, 2009, the day the first block of Bitcoin was mined, known as the Genesis block. Inside that block, a message was hidden. The times 03/Jan/2009 Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. This line was the headline of a British newspaper published that same day. It meant that the UK's Chancellor, Finance Minister, was preparing to bail out the banks for the second time. But this wasn't just a timestamp. It was a political statement. A symbol that Bitcoin was the answer to the failure of the banking system. A counter to a world where people's money depends on the decisions of politicians and banks. But this was only the beginning. For the next 2 years, Satoshi worked deeply on Bitcoin's development, discussing ideas on online forums, fixing bugs, improving code, and refining his vision. He did everything himself. But when people started asking the question, who is Satoshi Nakamoto? No one knew. Complete mystery. What little we know about him is only through hints. He claimed to be a 37-year-old man from Japan, but his English writing style, especially his use of British spelling, suggested he might be from the UK or had spent considerable time there. The code he wrote was in C++, and it was so clean and advanced that it was clear he wasn't a beginner. He was an expert coder. Then, in December 2010, Satoshi suddenly disappeared. Before leaving, he handed over Bitcoin's source code to Gavin Anderson. In April 2011, his last message appeared, and then complete silence. That's when the wave of speculations began. Everyone wanted to know who this man was. He had shaken the entire financial system, and then vanished. The first suspect was Hal Finney, a legendary cryptographer and one of the first people to adopt Bitcoin. In fact, the first Bitcoin transaction ever made was sent by Satoshi to Hal Finney. Coincidence? Maybe. But another strange fact, Hal Finney lived next door to Doria Nakamoto. Cosmic coincidence, right? Then came the name Nick Szabo, another cryptography genius who had proposed BitGold, a concept that predated Bitcoin. Some linguistic experts claimed Satoshi's writing style was very similar to Szabo's papers. But Szabo never admitted to being Satoshi. Next, the media jumped in with another sensational claim, Doria Nakamoto. In 2014, Newsweek featured him on their cover, claiming he was the real Satoshi. He was a Japanese-American engineer with the same surname, but Dorian denied everything. He said he didn't even know what Bitcoin was. So far, every theory seemed logical, but no one had proof. Then, in 2016, another person entered the scene, Craig Wright, an Australian computer scientist. He claimed to be Satoshi Nakamoto. The crypto world went crazy. Wright promised to provide proof, but when the time came, he didn't. People challenged him. If you're really Satoshi, move one of the coins from the early Bitcoin wallets. Simple, right? But he never did. Instead, he began filing lawsuits against those who called him a fraud. To this day, Craig Wright has provided no conclusive proof, only claims, controversies, and ego battles. Then came a new theory, that Satoshi Nakamoto isn't a person at all. Wright claimed that such a complex and secure system could only have been created by an intelligence agency, maybe the NSA, CIA, or another global organization. It sounded like a plot from a Bond movie, but this theory still finds discussion in some corners of the crypto community. Then came the Silk Road chapter, Bitcoin's first major use case in the real world. On the dark web marketplace Silk Road, people traded drugs, fake IDs, and illegal weapons, all in Bitcoin. This gave Bitcoin a notorious image, but it also proved that the system worked borderless, permissionless, unstoppable. When the FBI shut down Silk Road in 2013, speculation grew again. Was Satoshi connected to it? Or had his creation simply been misused? The truth remains unclear. It's been 16 years since Bitcoin was born, and Satoshi's identity is still a puzzle. But maybe that's the beauty of it. Bitcoin's design doesn't depend on one person. In fact, if Satoshi's real name were known, he might have become a central figure of power, which would go against the entire purpose of decentralization. His anonymity protects the system itself, but his hidden identity gave the crypto world something else: inspiration. Satoshi's vision sparked a revolution, inspiring projects like Ethereum, Cardano, and Solana, all built upon his foundational idea. Even today, whenever a coin moves from one of Bitcoin's early wallets, the entire market shakes. People start to wonder, is Satoshi back? Is he watching from somewhere? This mystery never gets old. And in the end, one question remains. Will we ever know who Satoshi Nakamoto was? Maybe not. Maybe he never wanted us to. Maybe he only wanted the idea to live on, not the person. Because sometimes, legends are meant to be faceless. So next time you think about Bitcoin, don't just think about its price. Think about the story of Satoshi Nakamoto, an invisible genius with no face, but a vision that changed the world forever. Friends, I hope that you got a lot of information from this video. To watch more such interesting videos, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Also, click on the bell icon, which is present next to the subscription button, so that you can get the notification of all the new videos of this channel. Like and share the video. Take good care of yourself. Goodbye.